Do you need a literary agent? Now there's a question. And here's an answer. It depends. There we go, thank you for watching. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel in the I'm joking. The funny thing is, this didn't really used to be a question at all. I think it's reasonably fair to say that before the rise of self-publishing, if you'd written a book and you wanted people to read it, then you probably needed to get a literary agent. But now self-publishing does exist in a very large and significant way, so let me try and answer the question properly by painting 2 or 3 scenarios. And let's start with being self-published. If you've written a book and you intend fully to self-publish it through Amazon or through the iBook store, wherever it may be, then you probably don't want a literary agent. You want to do all the work, you want to keep all the money, and you want to keep that delicious control. And that's totally fine, absolutely fine. You carry on. I have a tremendous respect for people who self-publish their work because it's difficult, it's challenging, and pretty much just as difficult to get any rewards as it is publishing in any other way. However, it's worth noting that some people kind of do both. Some people will self-publish their books, and then other books they will have an agent for. I don't think it's especially common, it's not kind of a widespread thing. It's definitely the case with some more successful self-publishers who've then gone on to, for certain books, get an agent too. Anyway, this question has cropped up a couple of times, and it's always been with people who are looking to publish in a more traditional way. And even then, this was kind of not a question a few years ago. Most writers accepted that if you wanted to get a publishing deal, then the chances of you getting actually seen by a publisher, getting your manuscript in front of someone who might actually say yes to it, then you were probably going to need an agent to get it into that position. Because that's one of the key things that an agent does. They have all the industry knowledge and the contacts to make sure that your book ends up on the desk of the right person, at the right publisher. It's the kind of thing that you can't really do yourself unless you've worked in the publishing industry for several years, which I have to say is a rather tremendous shortcut that some people do take. But should I get a literary agent? This is now a real question because some publishers do take on authors who haven't got an agent. So I guess my answer is it can happen, and you do need to think about whether you want one. But the question you really need to ask is, what will an agent do for me? My own experience, and I think most people's experience, is that having an agent is like just having someone else on your team who is your best supporter ever. Having an agent should mean that you always have someone totally behind you, always got your back, always there for you. Their entire reason for being is to make sure that your book does as well as it possibly can do, finds the right home, is worked on by the right people, and ultimately ends up being read by as many people as possible. And me personally, I want that person on my team. I'm interested in publishing and rights and various other intricacies of the business, but I don't really want to be dealing with the day-to-day of those things. Apart from being useless at maths, I'm not that fussed about going through my contract line by line to make sure that everything is in the right place. And that's one of the things that an agent will do for you. They will kind of handle the entire business side of your business. And I suppose that's an interesting way of looking at it. If you don't have an agent, you're going to be handling the entire business operation as well as the actual creative writing side of things. If you do have an agent, then you have someone in place to take care of all of that for you. Now, of course, the truth is your agent is going to need to be paid for that. I think it's still the case that most agents will take 15% of whatever you make in terms of an advance and royalties and that kind of thing. And in my opinion, and in my experience, that's 15% very well spent. Ultimately, like I said at the start of this video, it really depends on what you want as an author. The reason I say it depends is because you don't need a literary agent, but I believe that having one significantly improves your chance of finding not just a publisher, but the right publisher, and of then getting the very best deal for your book. If you have any questions about getting a literary agent, or you're currently pondering over some complexity in that area, feel free to leave a comment in the area below. And subscribe, for goodness sake, subscribe to this YouTube channel. What's wrong with you?